Hello, welcome into the PHNX Bets Daily Podcast, your premier gambling podcast. I'm Johnny Venerable. He's Sean DePaz. Shane is off today. We are on talking about some NBA, NHL playoff action. But first, I have to address the tremendous fit by my better half in Sean DePaz. He's rocking, for our audio listeners, he's rocking a throwback Arizona 2001 World Series championship hat. Is that what that is?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I got the World Series on the back and everything. Got the patches. I love it.
Hell yeah. Diamondbacks playing some good ball. Sneaky, competitive decent this season. Not my St. Louis Cardinals. We're going to talk about them today. But what I do want to talk about, Western Conference playoffs in full effect. We'll have a big preview show tomorrow for the Phoenix Suns coming back to Phoenix to take on, hopefully, in a route to take on the Denver Nuggets. But tonight, Sean, we get Lakers Warriors Game 2, Part 2. And, I would love to see the Lakers take care of business and put Golden State in a 2-0 hold. Tell me why that's not likely.
The fourth quarter of that last game is why it's not likely. You saw, excuse me, who I think is a better coach in Steve Kerr, make adjustments, started playing that zone a little bit more, and they closed a giant gap that they had in that game. I think that's probably why, is just because they've been here before and they've shown that they are capable of making these adjustments, bouncing back from this kind of stuff. They've won all of these rings for a reason.
Yeah, absolutely. They're the most resilient team in the NBA, bar none. Probably the most resilient team in my lifetime, outside of the Jordan-esque Warriors in the mid to late 90s. So I do think they're going to take care of business for a couple different reasons. I think the Lakers have accomplished what they wanted to. They got the game won, right? And I think that Anthony Davis, we'll talk about here in a little bit, Sean, is a man on fire. But again, you have to be methodical with the way you use AD and LeBron. Both are, different places in their careers, but both are, relatively fragile at this point. I mean, LeBron, you cannot lean on for the kind of minutes he once played. And then Anthony Davis, while it feels like he is a different player in this postseason, like it's not in your best interest if you're LA to run him out there and expect the same kind of production as game one, the same time of minutes, certainly. So I do feel like, as it's depicted in the show title, Lakers are playing with house money. Would you say, even after Golden State came back after a 2-0 deficit against Sacramento in the first round, is this a must win for Golden State, considering that both games are in their building? Do they have to win this game, Sean?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say they have to. Like, I'm not going to put it past this team to come back from an 0-2 deficit, even if they do have to do it on the road. But yeah, it is pretty close. And obviously not an ideal situation to be down 0-2 going on the road. I definitely don't want to. I would be shocked if LeBron James coughed up a multi-game lead in a series. So we'll see. I think it is about as close to being a must-win game as you can get without it being a must-win game.
Yeah, I agree with that. What I also agree with is, if you guys haven't checked out the BetMGM Sportsbook app, I'm going to agree with everybody that has given us immense amount of praise because of our new partnership, our new friendship with BetMGM this season. It's fantastic. We're using BetMGM lines to make all of our picks, and we've got special offers for our listeners each week, every week. Signature bets and then signature events. We've got our watch-alongs presented by Neutral. Hopefully, we get a couple more watch-alongs, Sean, at BetMGM Sportsbook over the course of the Suns playoff, because that means we're pushing this series to the max. And speaking to the max, we're going to be maxed out this fall live at State Farm Stadium. BetMGM Sportsbook for every single game for the Arizona Cardinals this fall. So again, just a teaser now. And speaking of tease, if you want to come out and get teased in the Knockout Nights Cornhole League beginning tomorrow and the first Friday of every month through the end of the summer into August, we're having our Cornhole League, free F&B specials, giveaways, BetMGM prizes, live show broadcasts, whatever you want. It's with our friends at BetMGM Sportsbook. And I teased, a little bit of a giveaway, or let's call it some bonus bets, if you will. But if you haven't signed up with BetMGM yet, use that bonus code PHNX. There's a few different offers depending on where you live. But for our Arizona audience in particular, you're going to get up to $100 in bonus bets on your first wager with BetMGM. Again, Use that bonus code PHNX. And in the meantime, listen to our guy Shane Diefenbach talk about it in the disclaimer.
Disclaimer, 21 plus to wager. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. U.S. promotional offers not available in Washington, D.C., Mississippi, Nevada, New York, and Ontario. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Colorado, D.C., Illinois, Indiana, Louisiana, Maryland, Mississippi, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, Wyoming. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369, New York. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP, Arizona. 1-800-522-4700, Kansas, Nevada. 1-800-327-5050, Massachusetts. 1-800-BETS-OFF, Iowa. 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help, Michigan.
Again, kind of a lighter night in terms of the NBA playoffs. We're going to get to our Lakers-Warriors bets here in a second. But, Sean, tease us with some NHL action that you like in the NHL playoffs.
Yeah, so let's throw up my picks. The NHL playoffs are the best. Can I just say that? They're the best.
Yeah.
The first games of this round of the playoffs were electric. We went back-to-back nights where we had a 4-goal performance get wasted in a loss. So, yeah, let's throw up my picks. First off, the story of these playoffs, and honestly, the story of the NBA playoffs too. Road team wins game 1, home team comes back with a vengeance in game 2. And that's exactly what influenced my 2 picks here. Maple Leafs, Dallas Stars, both the better teams in their series. I think I'm pretty confident in saying, despite them both losing game 1s to relatively young franchises. Obviously, the Seattle Kraken, only 2 years old, and Florida Panthers, late 90s. But I just think those home teams come back with a vengeance, as Derek Montia is waving around a purple lightsaber outside. Very much distracted me. But yeah, I like the puck line for both of the home teams, both of the higher seeds, both of the better teams tonight. I think they bounce back. And then the Warriors, -6.5. Like I said, I think you saw late in that game against the Lakers that Steve Kerr figured out the adjustments he had to make. I think you'll see them play more of the zone, go a little smaller in a lineup that gave the Lakers a little bit more trouble. It influences one of my props that we'll get to in a little bit, but I think you'll be forced to see. The Warriors are going to force Anthony Davis to defend on the perimeter a little bit more. They're just a better shooting team. I just think the Warriors, like we said, it's pretty close to a must win. I think they're going to come back with a vengeance, and this Warriors team, if they're on. It's pretty easy for them to get into a situation where they're blowing out another team, regardless of who that other team is. So I like them -6.5.
Yeah, I think the Lakers say thanks. We'll take a 1-1 split.
Yeah,
but again, you got to run out to a big lead early in the game, kind of like you did in game 1, or if not, you're toast, and you might as well start sitting people in the fourth quarter. I'm with you. Let's take a look at my 2 bets tonight, both Lakers Warriors action. I like the Warriors. I got this at 6.5. on multiple sports books now, including BetMGM. I believe it's up to 7. Would not be surprised by tip-off, Sean, if this is hovering around 8. I think most people feel like it's going to be a comfortable Warriors win tonight for the reasons we broke down in the first segment. And then also, I think there's going to be a good amount of scoring tonight. Lakers and Warriors, 2 of the worst defensive teams in the postseason. Warriors specifically just are not great, especially in the paint down low. I think you get a vintage-esque Steph Curry performance. So if you want to dabble on one of his props, I think over 28, 30 points seems about right. No one else is really clicking for this Warriors team. Actually, some of their focal points have been outright liabilities trying to score the basketball. So anytime that you can lean on Steph Curry, I think this is the night where you can parlay it with the over and the spread. You got any more props for us, Sean?
Yeah, I do have a few props, so let's throw those up. I'll go to the basketball one first. Andrew Wiggins over 5.5 rebounds. Like I said, I think you're going to see them roll out a smaller lineup because that's what worked for them to close that gap that they had last game. He's hit this in 5 of his last 6 playoff games, I believe. You're giving me stuff like that. I'm going to take it, even though it's only at -145. And then my 2 hockey props, Oliver Bjorkstrand, Bjork, anytime goal +240. He has been on fire for the Seattle Kraken. Seattle Kraken missing their top goal scorer in Jared McCann. Bjorkstrand scored 2 goals, maybe 3 goals in Game 7 against the Colorado Avalanche. I don't remember. I think he scored 2. Could have had like 5. He was dancing all over it. Hit the goalie in the mask at one point. Missed or hit the post a couple times. Like, he was all over it. Then he scored again in Game 1 against the Dallas Stars. Even though I don't think the Kraken are going to win, You're giving me plus 240 on a guy that's been on absolute fire, and I love that. So plus 240 anytime goal scorer. And then Jake Ottinger, the otter, over 27.5 saves. The Dallas Stars go as he go. Like I said, I think the Dallas Stars are going to win tonight. But the Kraken are not going to go down easily. They're still going to get shots on net. So I like Otter to hit that over 27.5 saves.
Love it. Also love this. PHNX Cardinals Live returns after a one-day hiatus. We're going to be talking about, did the Atlanta Falcons actually try to pull off a trade for Kyler Murray during the 2023 NFL Draft weekend? Sean, what are you and the fellas on Sun Devils chatting about today?
I don't know. We're probably talking more basketball recruits. I never know what's going on. I leave that to Totri. But we'll be talking. We'll be live. I have won yet another snake draft. I have to assume Shane will not be on the show today for that either. So it'll be Totri and I talking probably more basketball recruits, transfers, stuff like that. But no matter what we're talking about, we're always having a good time over on the PHNX Sun Devil show. I can actually tell you which Pac-12 coach is under the most pressure. As far as football is concerned. So we'll be talking about that and a bunch of fun stuff. Oh, and we have a very big ASU baseball series this weekend against Stanford, #1 team in the conference. Well,
hell yeah. We're going to be following college football on the PHNX Cardinals show that much more closely this fall. Maybe incorporate a draft segment or two during the week.
Caleb Williams.
I'm just saying this team's got a bunch of picks that could add more. The Hop trade post June 1st. We'll see. We'll see you guys tomorrow on the PHNX Bets Daily podcast every single day at noon. For Sean DePaz, I'm Johnny Venerable. Have a good one.